Okay, so I had put my Plant Benavidez prediction out a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I put it out a little bit too early, but I just kind of wanted to go over my closing thoughts because I have a busy week this week, fellas. I'm gonna try to do a stream tomorrow or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm gonna be real busy, but hold on, while I wait. But just get some final thoughts prior to the Plant Benavidez fight, man. Look. It's a damn good fight, man. It's a damn good fight. It's the number one and number two guys at 168 pounds. Obviously, Canelo's the champion, but it's the number one, number two guys in the division, contenders. It's a fight we've all been looking forward to for a couple of years now, 2-3 years now, I'm actually, some people are like, well, this fight should have happened a couple years ago. I'm actually glad it's happening now rather than a couple of years ago because both guys got more experience under their belt. Caleb Plant became champion. He had a mega fight with Canelo. So I'm actually more interested in the fight now than I would have been had it happened a couple of 2-3 years ago, But it's an excellent fight. We're all looking forward to it. I think that... And, there's always a little, extra incentive there when there's bad blood between these two guys. When there's bad blood, man, it's the little incentive. Same thing with, we're probably going to see a little of that with Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez later on in the summer, in the beginning of summer in June. And so that always gives these guys a little bit of extra incentive to perform well. And at least, when I would always box, if it was somebody I genuinely didn't, when I was boxing, when I was a teenager, whatever, when it was somebody I genuinely didn't like, it gave me that little extra incentive to train, to fight a little bit harder, And I think both Plant and Benavidez have that going into this fight, which makes it more intriguing, And I think the animosity over the last couple of years has helped to build that up, and we're going to see it plays out in the fight. And I've seen a lot of people saying, well, Plant might be in his head. I do think Plant is in Benavidez's head, right? I do think he is in his head a little bit. There's been a lot of shit talk, a lot of mind games between the two guys, Benavidez's dad in specific, and Plant going back and forth, which, I've said this before, I think Benavidez's dad should have just kept his fucking mouth shut and let the two fighters go at it. That was kind of a low blow from Benavidez Sr., in my opinion. But with that being said, being in somebody's head can work two ways, okay? The way Plant is maybe in Benavidez's head a little bit. Number one, it can work against you. Benavidez can go in there and just shoot his load off in the first couple of rounds, trying to rip his head off, and it work against him. But it also can work for him because it can drive him, like I say, because of that added incentive, that little extra incentive, to perform even better on the night. Now, we're not going to know which one of those routes that the mind games are going to go down until we actually see it play out in the ring. But it does add a little bit of interest and, not to repeat myself, but a little bit of incentive for Benavidez to perform well. So I'm looking forward to it. Initially, I was rooting for Plant because of the shit talk that Benavidez was giving to Plant. I thought it was kind of some low blows and stuff there. But now I'm kind of more even tilt about it because all the Canelo fans are rooting for Plant because if Plant wins, in their minds, it makes Canelo look better. So now I'm just neutral about it. I just want to see a great fight. I don't give a damn who wins. For those of you who've watched my prediction video, you know that I am picking David Benavidez to win the fight. I think he'll get Plant out of there in the back end of the fight. But I do think Plant has some serious attributes that can give David Benavidez trouble. The footwork, the elusiveness, the upper body movement, and the counterpunching. David Benavidez does have those powerful flurries he likes to let off, but he never brings his hands back up. He goes da 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 da, and his hands are down here. His chin's up a little bit. So he better watch out for that counter left hook that Plant's going to be throwing while he's in the middle of shooting the machine gun and trying to throw one of his flurries there. I'm curious. I'm also curious to see how they look at or how they measure up to one another on the weigh-in. And we didn't get a face-off for the press conferences because there was a lot of bad blood. And honestly, if those two guys would have gotten face-to-face right then and there, a fight would have broke out. So I understand why we didn't get a face-off at the press conference, but I do hope that we get a face-off after the weigh-in because I am curious to see how much bigger Benavidez is than Plant, because I think might have something to, that might be a big factor in this fight as well. But all things considered, I'm very much looking forward to it. I think the whole boxing world is looking forward to this fight. It's a fight we've been asking for a couple of years. It's two of the top 3 or 4 guys in the division. I would say top 3. Canelo's the champion. Benavidez and Plant are 1 and 2, which way you want to rank them. But it's going to be an exciting fight, and I'm very much looking forward to Saturday, guys. So I hope that you all are as well. Like I say, I am picking Benavidez, and if you haven't watched my prediction video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, be sure to check that out and, listen to what I had to say about that. And another thing is this. I have to say this. I know Canelo fought Plant, but to be honest with you, neither one of them have really fought great competition. So it's kind of like a coming out party for both of them is the way I look at it, because nobody was picking Plant to beat Canelo. Like, let's just keep it real, right? And Plant didn't do too bad of a job against Canelo, but nobody was really picking him to win. So I think it's kind of more or less, if Benavidez goes in there and smashes him, then yeah, obviously it was a coming out party for Benavidez. But I think it's another good gauge to see where they really are, not only in their division, but as on even more of an overall in boxing as to where these guys would rank. Not pound for pound, of course, but just in general. So great fight. I'm looking forward to it very much. I hope you guys all are as well. And please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, guys. I can't wait till Saturday, and I hope to see you on the stream. God bless now.